Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and I'm glad to be back with another tile in our Easy Zentangle Mosaic series. And first thing I want to do is show this sign that I don't always read it, and I should. And this is what you see at the beginning of each of my videos. This is not a contest. You're not being graded. Just enjoy each line because anything is possible, one stroke at a time. And this is what I based my YouTube channel name on, not perfect. You know, perfection is overrated. Imperfection is an art, and that comes from Molly Hollabaugh. And when we release expectation and experience appreciation, all the moments of our lives become openings and opportunities. And I say that because I've struggled with the voices in my head lately saying that I need to be perfect, and I don't. And so just those few thoughts before we start. Today I'm going to show you a couple of patterns. This one is a new pattern on the Tangle Patterns website, and it's called Bitona from Yuko Ohashi, and she's a CZT. This is the basic pattern, and then you end up just kind of chaining them together. And the other is an oldie but goodie, and it's called Mumsy from Sandy Steen Bartholomew, CZT. And you may know her from Yoga for the Brain. And I really love her pattern. She has a lot of really good patterns. And I want to show you what I did with these. This is Mumsy. And I really enjoyed doing this one morning. I just picked up a piece of paper that I had put a little bit of watercolor on. It's one that I cut myself. And then I just kept doing this in this pattern. Super simple, but it was just a wonderful way to start my day. And then this one is on a phi tile, and that's the pattern Bitona. And you can just do it in all sorts of ways. Now we're going to put both of these into a small space, but just keep in mind that you don't have to be doing these tiles, okay? You don't have to be doing this mosaic. You can just learn these patterns and use them as you want to. So as a reminder, I have created a little template where I marked the halfway point on each side of a 3.5 inch tile. And this is one that I've cut myself, so it doesn't have the Zentangle logo on the back. But make those marks. And then I use a canning jar lid. You can see it better there. And then I'll mark that arc to connect those lines on each side. And then to create our Z, I just put a little bit of a wavy line there in the center. So that's how we get started. And this will be number 7. Cool. Let's start with Mumsy. Zoom in. And I'm using a pizza box from my background now because I have put a lot of marks on that white piece of paper, and I thought, well, let's try this and see how it works. So we are going to start by just putting like a 5-pointed wavy blob. I'm not sure what you would call this here in the center. Okay. And then we're just going to start adding petals. And I will try not to turn my tile too many times. You don't have to, but it's a habit, and it's a good habit. Okay, so there's our first layer. And then we just continue to add some more little petals. And you can just put these so that they go between each of these. That was kind of fat. Don't worry about it being perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add one in between, stopping at our little border there. And let's add a petal in between each one of these where we've left a space. I'm not trying to make them a certain size or anything like that. Okay, so now we've made another round of petals, and then we can just go ahead and add some more here. Pick up your pen and come back down. Okay, there would be one coming out this way, coming up again. Okay, I need to remember to keep my hand out of the way. This is how she shows it in the step out. She does all of the petals first. And as a reminder, if you have a scrap piece of paper, you can put it behind if that helps you to decide how that go and then come back down. And I'm just going to fit another one in there. Okay, so I'm going to stop and then go ahead and start putting these little auras. We're just going to put like a little loop, another aura, and you can just keep going around in the circles, adding these. Again, this one is a very simple pattern to do and to remember. And when I put on some meditative music in the morning and just do something like this, it's a very nice way to start my day, a Zen way, like with this. Okay, so I'm just going to keep turning and adding these lines. And I do tend to gravitate toward floral type patterns. That's just what I have done since I was first trying to do art. I would draw a little flower pot, excuse me, and then a simple stem, and then petals, like a big daisy, I suppose. And so I still enjoy drawing patterns that are floral. You can add as many of these little aura lines inside as you like. It's a cloudy day here in Southeast Texas. We finally got some rain, about an inch of rain last night. That was badly needed. This is May 22nd, and some of you guys are still getting snow. I do not like to be cold, so I prefer a warm climate, but it's also very humid here and lots of mosquitoes. Okay, as you can see, this is kind of something that I can do without having to worry. Not saying it's a mindless pattern, but it's easy to do, easy to remember. It's also kind of close to Antidots, which we did on another one of these tiles that I have sitting out here somewhere. Where is Antidots? Okay, so there's Antidots. It's similar to that. So like I said, that's the kind of pattern I like. Floral and easy to remember. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and try to slip in another beginning of this. Make it a little bit smaller so we can fill in this space. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple of the auras. Since this is small, I'm only going to add 2. All right. And here. And one here, but don't go over our boundary or border. Actually, it's a string line. Okay, I knew I'd figure it out. You'd have one coming up here. Okay. And then I'm going to pretend we have one coming here. And here. Maybe coming out this way. And then we'll add our auras. I guess you would call these an inner aura. Okay. So let's see. I was looking for the Antidots again to see how that compares. Again, you can use these. I'm going to go ahead and add one more on here. You can use these in a mosaic. Put this under. And just use them as fillers. And this is what you would call a blossom type pattern. It begins in the center and blossoms outward. Trying to decide how much more I want to add. I'll go ahead and just stop there and then start on the next one, which is Bitona. I'm not sure how to say that one. And with that one, it is based on flux. So flux, like the way Rick does it, is just kind of a teardrop. And then there's usually the little dots that come up like that. So with this one, excuse me, we're going to start the same way. We're going to do that little teardrop. But the next thing she does is a little plus sign across here. And then she repeats that flux this way. And then you turn it, and then the point of flux is down here. It comes back down this way and comes back down this way. And then, as you can see in this, there's just all kinds of varieties that you can do. And this is another one that I did as a morning meditation. I had a phi tile that was already colored, and I just kept trying different ideas. So let's see what we can do on here with Bitona. And I think I'll start down in this corner. And again, I'm going to do like the flux pattern. We're going to do a plus sign. And sometimes I forget to do the one that goes across. And then we're going to come back, put another pointed one there. And then now the point of our flux comes in here. And out here. When you do your next petal, you come out from here. And so we're going to go like that. And then here comes our little plus sign. The point goes up here again. And then I'm going to turn it. You can make these kind of fat and roundish if you want to. I'm going to do that with this one and have it go behind that petal. Okay. And then I'm going to come back to this one and start again. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. Here's our plus. And then we're going to come back this way with the pointy part. And then this one is more rounded. And going behind, right? So I'm trying to go into this area. So here I'm going to start another one. So I'm going to have my curve kind of go in that direction. Second part of our pointed one. Because this is kind of a confined area, these are going behind a little bit more than on my phi tile, but that's okay. We can have one coming out of here that's kind of small. So let's do a little one. Do them any size. Okay, we'll just keep going in this direction. Oops. That's okay. No mistakes. This would go out this way. And then we can just come down here and have one that's free, not attached. So let's do this. There's our plus. These are both coming out this way. And I'm going to try to put another little one in here. So here's the base, first leaf, our plus sign, the top of the leaf. And then these are a little bit more round. That one's going behind, so you won't see where that goes. All right. Looks like I can fit one here. So let's go this way. Here's our plus. And you might try this and decide, no, that's not what I want to do. And that's okay. Or you can just watch how mine turns out and see what you want to do. Let's put another little one here. I tend to watch YouTube videos to see the outcome and then decide whether or not I'm going to do it. I keep saying that I'm going to add a page on my coffee.com, and that's ko-fi.com. I can put pages there, and one of these days I'm going to put one that has some of my favorite links. Okay, let's go ahead and do our shading. And I failed to say at the beginning that I'm using a Micron 01, a blending stump, possibly an eraser. Okay, I lost my pencil, and a graphite pencil. So let's go ahead and add some shading. First thing I want to do is define this division between these. I think that will help us out. And just take my blending stump and soften that. I have not done this on another tile, so it's going to be a surprise as to how it's going to look when we put it with the other tiles. And again, if you don't like it, then do some more with some of your other favorite patterns until you get a group of tiles that you do like. I had initially planned to frame these when I get 9 tiles that I really like. Okay. And like I said, I didn't even think about how close this was to Antidots. It's also known as 1, 2, 3. Antidots is very much like 1, 2, 3 by Melinda Barlow. So, I know I forgot to tell you some of the things that we can do here. Okay, so let's make some of these different. I'm going to make just a little loop here in the center of these. Just play around with it. We could put a little orb at the ends of these. Okay, where you have these that look like it's a leaf, you could actually extend it a little more and make it look like veins on a leaf. And then in this side, I'm going to make it look kind of like fescue. I like how this one looks. So let's do that down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and extend these to the end. And then just put little veins that go out to each side. Do a little bit better doing it in this direction for some reason. Okay. You can just add some little hatching down here. Okay. Let's see. You could do the little dots like you see on fescue, or not fescue, flux. I think in the one that she did like this for her example, she had little dots inside here. Oops, I forgot to silence my phone. Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you can do this. You could put a black dot on here instead of leaving it open. All right, so now let's add some shading to that. I've got about 5 minutes left before my Zoom time's out. So Let's just do some quick shading. And this will be a quick and easy tile. We're just going to add a little bit of shading down here in the bottom of each of these. And up the veins. And then just soften it. I do have a lady that I've been watching on Facebook, and I can't remember her name. She's in India, the CZT, but she is doing a series called a Tangle Marathon, where she is putting a lot of patterns into categories. And I just love watching what she's doing. And I will get that link into a page of my favorite YouTube channels and other teachers that I like to follow, so that you can go to that if you want to. Maybe I'll even try a YouTube short to let you know that I've done it. I haven't done a YouTube short before. Okay, so I just went along the outside of those, where one goes behind another. You can put a little bit of shading there in the middle. And then just soften these. Kind of hurrying so that I get this done before my 40 minutes is done. All right, so let's back that out. And see if we can see what we've got so far. One more. All right. Why am I struggling with this? Okay. See them all? Let's get this up just a little bit. There we go. We have 7, we have 2 to go. I'll try to come up with something that's not exactly like the other ones that we've already done. But quick and easy patterns. Some of my favorites that I like to do first thing in the morning. And next time we'll have tile number 8. Let me know what you think. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great week ahead. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.